Raise your hand if you had Ole Miss against LaSalle in your bracket, and one of them had to the Sweet 16. That's right, you didn't, and neither did I. The Explorers, the LaSalle Explorers, are going to the Sweet 16 via a 76-74 win against Ole Miss. Marshall Henderson is one of the most controversial college basketball players, and you're about to see why. Watch what happened after they lost. Kicks the Powerade. Watch the assistant coach. He's flicking off fence. No, Marshall, no, don't do it, Marshall. He's crazy. Now, he's a hell of a scorer. It was tweeted by someone on press row saying that he flicked off fans, and now we have video proof. Now, he tries to justify it in our next clip.
When someone yells, "Your sister's a whore, you effing cokehead," at a time like that, I'm always the one to react. Whatever is how I react. When someone yells that at a time like that, I don't care about anything at that point.
You don't react like that. I understand that he's a very emotional player. You know, his emotions drive the way he plays. His emotions and his shooting are the keys to success for Marshall Henderson. Totally understood. But you cannot justify actions like flicking off fans. You can't let your emotions drive you to that extent. And that's why I believe, I know that JR said that he likes Marshall Henderson. And look, if he wasn't on my team, I'd be okay with it. But if he was on my team, I wouldn't like it. And I wouldn't want to draft him if I was an NBA GM. The last mock draft I saw, he wasn't even going in the second round. He wasn't in the first round, he wasn't in the second round. Maybe he'll get signed to a practice squad, maybe he'll get a contract, a little contract to be a practice squad guy. Who knows? Now, if you guys would sign him, try to justify it in the comments section. I would love to hear those.
The only thing that may frustrate me is I was almost betting. Oh, people are saying, oh, he's emotional. We want some emotion. As long as people aren't saying
you can
that.
be emotional, though. That's the thing. You can like, look at our test. He's still in the league.
That's the comparison I was going to bring up.
He's still in the league because he's
You remember saying our test is emotional and good-hearted for jumping in the stands after a fan threw some shit at him?
No. You can't justify that.
I know that's what I'm saying. No one justified that. I was making sure they don't justify this guy. I was making sure that they compare these two guys because they're the same type of guy.
If you were an NBA GM, late second round, he's around, would you draft him?
Not at all. I would never draft him.
Yeah.
The only way I'd ever have him on my team is if he's proven himself in the league for 5 years and then he's in some kind of trade or a free agent or something. You got guys like KG who rattled fucking Carmelo. Oh. The NBA is gonna destroy the talk and the skill level on top of it. Oh, they would destroy him.
You think he would punch someone in a game?
I wonder.
Shove, definitely shove, but yeah. Punch.
The thing is, he'd get so first he'd be talking because he enjoys it,
yeah.
which is what I did like about him. He enjoys the shit talking, and it drives him. But once you let it piss you off, I thought he didn't let it get to him. He's letting them get to him. Oh, you're fucked. You can't let stuff get to you.
He let a fan get to him.
Yeah.
A fan.
Yeah.
He let a meaningless, stupid, old, fat fan get to him because he said, "Oh, your sister's a whore. You're
and then
cocaine."
At that point, it doesn't matter. Which means anytime I lose, if I'm in that position where I lost, you can't say anything to me because I'm gonna blow it up. Oh. Done. You're going to lose, by the way, idiot.
And an NBA team, look at Royce White. They don't want to deal with Royce White's anxiety issues. How are they going to deal with this crazy dude's issues?
And the thing is, now the word's out, so he'd get in the league, rookie. His team he'd probably get in a fight in practice.
Yeah, totally. Remember when we did the story on the Giants guy, Prince Amukamara, who got dumped in the cold tubs like 6,000 times and he wasn't even a rookie? Imagine that happening to Marshall Henderson 5 times. 4 times.
Twice.
Once, he'd fight with teammates and he'd get kicked off the team. It would be a failure from the start.